Okay, so now I've positioned my pre-cut piece for the other side perfectly where it needs to be. Now I've put some small marks so I know where to staple for the places that I will not see again. And of course this time I will put some wood pieces, scrap, make sure I don't get any dings in there. Okay, now I forgot to mark the plywood on the fin for the second part, for the second piece. The first piece, of course, I marked it so I could put the glue appropriately. The second part, you need to do it before you do the first one, or else you can't mark where the glue is going to be and where you need to varnish or not. So I did not find a way to do this, but Lynn said just do that, and he's totally correct. So I used just a piece of paper that I've put some holes in the paper so I could tack it and secure it well to the fin. Now I rubbed using just a pencil to get the corners of my where there's going to be glue and where there's going to be glue, and then where I need to protect for the glue and where I need to pre-varnish. So now, and then I've put my piece of wood on top of all this. I've put my two reference marks, which are like nails right through. So then this piece of paper can register on the piece of plywood, and then I'll be able to transfer these marks. I'm going to put the nails back there and there, then I'll be able to transfer all the lines on the piece of plywood. To pain the butt, don't do my mistakes. Okay, all the lines are transferred, so my small holes here were good for taping it, and also to put some reference lines on where it should go, and then I rubbed with a pencil so I could get another line here. Now I'll be able to know where my where to put glue or varnish. Okay, so now I've so through a bit of asking around, I've put a 1/8 inch hole here for this section, so it stays the same pressure as everybody else, even more since this is going to be solid and not fabric. So this is covered by this hole here. It goes in this section here. Oops, I forgot that hole here. Damn, I forgot one hole here. So figuring that the water would go here and then kind of go here, and then there I've got my 3/16 interior aluminum tube there, one there for this section. That's it. Here I made two small ones here for these sections to go, and this one and this one goes into the aluminum tube here. Oops, I was supposed to drill a hole here. Oh yeah, I said there's a hole here for this small section here to be equalized pressure wise with these guys. So the Baron's very right, it's extremely liquidy, the epoxy. So I've put a coat here. It penetrates like crazy, and we see the seepage. It really seeps a lot. In this case, I guess it doesn't matter much because I'll just be scraping just a small amount back, and since it's the same epoxy, it's going to be fine gluing back to the T88. Now I like to use this guy. Sounds a lot more accurate than going by volume. Okay, I made a small test here just to see, and it proved that the interior you're supposed to mix your epoxy in the container, and professionally that's what I do anyway. I mix it well, period, and then I take this container, which is my first container, and I put it into a new one, and then without rubbing too much this one, and just chuck this guy out, and then take a new stick and mix this out. So this is the one that I used as the second container, and as you can see, it's perfectly cured. But this one, which was still well mixed, it wasn't crazily mixed, but it was still well mixed, and there's some a film, I guess, and some small areas there's some liquidy parts in there. So I guess this proves that even more for such a liquidy product, I will do one pre-mix and then transfer it. The Baron suggested putting the plywood in a bat. Sounds like a great idea if you have a bat, but I don't have a bat at the shop, so I went with just rags the first time, and some areas were drying out. So now I'm going to try this guy. So it's just hot water. Obviously it's not going to be as hot as a bat, but it's going to stay wet, that's for sure. And I guess before I install it, I could wet it again with hot water, remove the excess. Right, so that was a couple of lessons learned here. Be more prepared. When you think you're prepared, try and find something else to be more prepared even. First thing, this thing here, there's a slight curve. Obviously the plywood needs to curve at the end just a bit more, and my clamps were slipping, so I just put some double-face tape, some thin double-face tape on the edge here. You can see it, and it prevents the clamp from slipping, and it just makes the last bit touch. Probably of no concern because it's going to get sanded away, but it's just an extra little bit in there. Yeah, I also made the two at the same time, the fin and rudder, and boy, that was a mistake. Next time, only one thing at a time. And I also used this piece of paper for aligning my for putting glue on the inside. Yeah, I figured I could just put on this on this exterior surface. That was my guide to staple my my sticks. That's something else. I use popsicle sticks here. I've never heard about it, but you guys keep saying other types of wood, but that sounds like easy and cheap and easy to split after to remove. So I hope this is going to be good. I bought lots more clamps and I still used all of them. I guess I could have used a bit more still. So I don't know who said that about having all of the clamps you need. Well, it was right. Okay, so following Lynn's advice to kind of reduce the size of the staple holes, I put some water on the holes. Then I'll be filling it with that super light balsa colored filler. Alright, now I put some kind of a stiff tape on the surface of the lamination, because this was at the correct curve, and because I had a lot of the excess plywood there to remove with big blobs of epoxy. So on the big sander it was nice, and as soon as I touched the tape I stopped, so the rest will be by hand. Okay, now there's going to the side of the fin. I'm glad without the with the popsicle sticks, now I would consider this pretty much perfect compared to without them. So cutting the excess off here, same as the other side, just a long straight edge, X-Acto blade. It was a piece of cake. Then there's cutting the female part on the fin, so sanding these triangular pieces of balsa wood. I put some 2 thickness of glossy, pretty strong tape at the bottom so I wouldn't eat too much of my main fin post. And then I just use a handheld, one of these drum sanders. It works really well. I get this small concave, so I guess any small cracks or whatever I'll fill it with what Lynn says is a mixture of epoxy and dust. So this is it. Looks pretty good to me. You have to be careful to like on the edge here, obviously the epoxy is rock hard and the balsa is super soft, so you gotta make sure you sand the entire curve the same, meaning that you have to work harder on the epoxy and just not ride everywhere. And so I think it's pretty good. Okay, now cutting this shape at the base. I guess I can stay shy of the actual shape itself, because I guess this needs to interface with the horizontal stab. So this is a template from the original full size. Then I made some measurements to translate this to where this should go. Put some pencil lines, and now I got my line here. So I'll be able to cut that guy out. Again, I'm going to stay shy of it.